In other headlines, Moscow says it's not satisfied with the UK's responses to its questions about the poisoning of a former double agent and his daughter in the south of England last month. In an attempt to cut through all the confusion, two Russians have put some questions of their own to the head of the OPCW, the International Chemical Weapons Watchdog. Murat Gazdiev joins us now with more.
Well, the two Russian prankers who are infamous, to speak lightly, they've released a recording where they pranked the head of the OPCW, the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, Ahmed Uzumcu. Now, these two individuals, the prankers, what they usually do is they call up heads of states as well as important officials, and they bring up sensitive issues. In this case, the OPCW's involvement in the investigation of the Skripal case, where a former Russian agent was poisoned along with his daughter in Great Britain. They asked him about what he was poisoned with, allegedly a Novichok series nerve agent.
According to us, our experts, it can be produced in any state. So this cannot be excluded. However, also the Russians claimed that there were some research activities on such substances elsewhere, which may be true, but the states which may have conducted such activities would have done it for protective, defensive purposes. How to detect it, how to defend, or I should say, how to create, develop some antidotes against the use of such substances and so on.
Now, this duo is notorious in Russia, praised and criticized in equal measure. They've pranked, for example, the UN representative to the UN, Nikki Haley, as well as world leaders such as the president of Ukraine. And, you know, there's been a fair amount of criticism directed at them. What they usually do is they call these people, they bring up issues and try to get a rise, either that or to get people to ramble. In this case, it was more serious. The second thing that they brought up was the OPCW's involvement in the investigation of the chemical attack, alleged chemical attack in East Ghouta in Syria. They asked the head of the OPCW about these rumors that the West has all but accused Russia of interfering in the investigation.
They seem to be willing to support the team's deployment. They also did it in writing. And we hope that the situation will evolve and will allow us, the team, to complete its work safely. The safety of our staff, of course, is of primary concern, Mr. Prime Minister. We cannot take really too high risks.
Now, as someone who keeps up with their recordings and you know what they do, I can't say this was their best work. This was a little bit too serious, but I doubt it'll affect either investigation.